Hey, it's Kevin and Fred. Do you have a referral for us here in Phoenix? There are 30,000 agents here that you could send them to. Why us? Well, for one thing, we'll keep you updated and you'll never have to track down your commission.
We'll also make you look really good to your client. And best of all, it helps us keep all this content free. So go to kevinandfred.com/referral to make the introduction. We'll take great care of them.
All right, guys, we're back with the Kevin and Fred show, and today I am joined by Jackson and Jesse out of the Portland, Oregon market. How's it going, fellas?
Great.
Awesome. Couldn't be better.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to have you guys here and share with us kind of your real estate journey and some of the cool stuff you guys are doing with YouTube. So obviously we got connected up through a good mutual friend of ours, Curtis Johnson. And he was telling me about some of the cool stuff you guys are doing with your YouTube channel, Living in Portland, and YouTube agents. And so I'm stoked to talk about that. Let's kind of go back to the start. Tell me about, like, where does your guys' story in real estate start? Like, you know, I'd love to talk about Living in Portland YouTube channel and kind of how that came about in your real estate business. And we'll kind of take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Jackson and I are actually pretty new to real estate. Jackson has only been in a little bit over a year. And I'm just going to be hitting my third year mark in August. So we haven't really been in there that long. And I was a solo agent, kind of doing my own thing. Jackson was working in the title industry. And he was actually my title rep. And we kind of met through a listing and, you know, talked after he helped me out for a while doing some video stuff. I was always into video, kind of just like a natural progression for a title guy to either stay in title or get in real estate. And he got into real estate. And
on the wrong side of things.
him and I were kind of doing the same thing in the video front, like really Gary Vee style, going out, interviewing bars, restaurants, t-shirt shops, and just really making a huge impact, which we thought was the right thing to do with video at the time. We were doing like really high quality production videos of the communities as well, and paying anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000 a video. And it was taking forever to get it edited. We put it out there. It was all great. We made a lot of friends, but never once got a deal out of it.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's where the pain point, and I'll jump in there because that's honestly the pain point was like, okay, to really bring this in, like, yeah, I just switched. And another factor is I just moved to Portland, Oregon. So I don't know anybody at all. I'm brand new into real estate. The only friends I made here were real estate agents. And I learned quickly that, hey, they all wanted help with video. So I learned it and was trying to teach it and nobody wanted it. Well, Jesse's like, dude, I'll shoot videos every day. So I started shooting videos with him, uploading them. I jumped over to real estate and we're going full in digital mayor, Gary Vee, interviewing every shop, restaurant, bar. We did it for months and months. I learned how to edit. I did everything. We did Facebooks, Instagrams, had the local police department reach out and say they love what we're doing. We thought we were hitting the right path. Nothing, dude. We still to this day have never gotten a phone call for any of that stuff. So now I'm like months into real estate, no money, brand new area, wife, kids, the story that everybody has, right? And it's like, okay, I can't cold call, can't door knock, you know, open house. I can stand in front of a million people and talk and go to a party, whatever, and be the loud guy, but just had a hard time doing the tough stuff, like telling people to work with me in the scripts. Jesse was very good at it. I knew video was going to have to be it. But how the hell do I get my videos in front of people that actually want it? Facebooks, Instagrams, they didn't search it. They didn't want it. Led me down the crazy path of SEO, figuring out what people were searching. And that literally, I had a night, an aha moment where I found almost 50,000 searches a month, 27 video titles that people were typing into YouTube to Google that there was zero competition on. And that was like, holy crap. Okay. So that's how I kind of got into the YouTube thing. And then there was a long path of ups and downs with that.
I bet. So tell me about that path though. So, okay. So you get in, what happens? You start discovering this SEO stuff or a path, you know, where and I love that. We used to do the same with short sale videos way back in the day. Like we always went for the long tail searches with our videos and, you know, anything we could find with a great search to, you know, response ratio, we would create videos for, and it brought us a lot of business back in the day, but you know, that's much different than what you guys are doing today. So tell me about that. Like, tell me about that progression and what's changed since you started doing that.
Yeah. So initially it's like, okay, I'm just going to do these videos with these titles, upload them into YouTube and get hundreds, thousands of views. I mean, that's what YouTube is, right? Everybody gets millions of views, millions of subscribers. And So I did it. I did the videos. The first couple that I literally just shot with my cell phone. I would upload them. Like a cost of living in Portland, Oregon was searched 5,600 times a month, no competition. I thought, shit, I do that, I'm going to get all these views immediately. And I learned quickly, like, oh my God, I'm getting 1 view every 3 days. What the hell's going on? Well, then, you know, you got to learn that this is like obviously the second largest search engine on the planet, owned by the #1, which is Google. So it's not going to just take your videos and put them out there everywhere. People think that like everybody goes viral on YouTube and you need millions of views and subscribers. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, there's over 30 million YouTube channels out there, 2-point-something billion people watching this platform. You really got to work your butt off, just like any aspect of real estate or business, to make it pay off. So it got to the point where I was shooting these videos, not getting the views, subscribers, and just kind of like, okay, I'll take a week or 2 off, and then I'll try and cold call again so I can get some business. And then we kind of went down that road. Well, then I started going, why are people not watching this? It led me down a crazy path of like all your metadata. So it's very important to have your titles right, your thumbnails got to be on point, your descriptions, your tags. And then I started doing more research and realized that stuff like cities and suburbs in the area were getting searched sometimes 10, 15,000 times a month more on YouTube than in Google. So that kind of went in my head of like, oh my God, people want to see what this is like. So again, Jesse, let's roll, let's start vlogging. So we started doing vlogs, walking the main streets, showing what you get, some of the top neighborhoods, the views, what do you get in this neighborhood? And that's kind of when things started going a little bit better for us. So we started getting more views, more everything, but we weren't getting business yet until we installed what we call today is everybody has to have this, your call to action. If you don't tell people to call you, to work with you, they never will. And that goes back to the cold calling, to the open houses and stuff I struggled with. That's why I never put it in a video. But long story short, I'll never forget, I'm actually looking at the bridge right now from our office. One day was like, you know what, got to tell these people to call. So we came up with a script that says, you know, we get calls from people moving and relocating here every single day, and we absolutely love it. You thinking about moving, relocating anywhere around here? You know, give us a call, shoot us a text. So we went through that and we drug our number on there. Next day, 14 phone calls. Like, so there again, when I talk about trials and tribulations, it was 3-4 months of like just trying to figure out the YouTube algorithm. And then I start figuring it out and getting the views, subscribers, and people are watching it, but I didn't tell them to call me, so they never did. Now we told them to call us, and boom, the phone calls start coming, and that exploded everything.
That's awesome. So what does that look like today? So if I got that right, the name of the channel, that first channel is called Living in Portland. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And so how often, let me ask you this, like how often are you guys updating that? Like how often are you posting to that channel?
Minimum twice a week. And that's something that I get asked from every single, agent out there is how many videos do I need? 1 video a week consistently will definitely help you rank a channel and you'll get business from it. But we started getting into 2, 3. In fact, I was getting to every other day. Fast forward to today, we have in-house videographer, editor. We're trying to get to a video every single day. We get that much business from it. So the more we do, the more calls, more business we get. So we're right now averaging that probably 4 or 5 video a week.
Wow, that's impressive. Okay. So, and your goal is to get to every single day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. Every day and branching out. I mean, we're living in Portland, Oregon. You search that, we're the #1 thing that pops up. Not even our videos, actually our channel. But now we're starting to expand out to every other market around us too.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. It's the power of social and using a tool like YouTube. So one of the things that really stood out to me was a couple of things. Was number one is you had to get all your keywords right, your tags, your metadata, your titles, your thumbnails. When you say that stuff, I think the average agent that's listening to this goes, God, that's a lot to think about. What do you say to that person? Like, how do you help you wherever think about yourself 12 months ago, 13 months ago? What do you say to that person?
Thank you so much, because like I went through 4 to 6 months of not knowing this shit. So if you go to the YouTube agents YouTube channel, we teach it all. But what I say to people listening, you can get the #1 tool you need is called TubeBuddy.com. It's an extension. You pay about $10 a month if you pay for it. It is actually free, but that tool is going to be an extension of your YouTube channel, and it actually starts, you can just type in your city. If it's Baltimore, Maryland, you just type that in, and it's going to start pulling results from your YouTube bar, right? And then you can start clicking those, going into kind of rabbit holes of what people are searching. That also tells you how much competition there is and if you should go for that title or not. So TubeBuddy.com is literally one of the best tools ever. If you want an easier one, is Keywords Everywhere. That's another Chrome extension that you can add to your computer. And what it does is turn your Google bar into basically a gold mine too. So it starts telling you how many searches a month things happen. And that's really how I discovered it, was that Keywords Everywhere. Was that type something into my computer, like Portland, Oregon, and then it brings up like cost of living in Portland. So I click on that, and then it's like living or moving to Portland, Oregon, best neighborhoods in Portland. So you click on that and it starts bringing up all the neighborhoods. And so it's just kind of like this rabbit hole, right? And that's what I tell people. You got to find the titles first, because we get agents, we get clients, into our agency and stuff, or our courses, and they'll have 500-600 videos and 10 subscribers and no views, because all they're doing is putting down address of their listing, or they're doing the inspection process or the escrow process, and none of that stuff gets searched. So you'll never get discovered. So, finding those keywords is really important.
Okay.
And if you notice, like anything that Jackson has said, not one video thing that he has mentioned has done anything to do with real estate. And that's that's where 99% of all agents make their biggest mistake.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Just from my, I by far don't know anything at all about YouTube other than how to use it, right? But I could see that. Let me ask you guys this question, because I've used YouTube for a really long time, and at first it was just the host, right? We just put stuff there because we had to host it somewhere for our vlogs years ago, and now it's a little more than that, but it's still kind of just that. So when you start talking about things like the data you would get, say, from a TubeBuddy or Keywords Everywhere, do you have to do all that stuff? Like, does it matter when you input it? Like, as an example, you go to upload your video to YouTube, right? Let's say you should be making a video about whatever neighborhood, right? Or coffee shops in a certain neighborhood, whatever it is you decide. When you upload that video, like, is there a specific order to the way you do things? Does it matter as long as all the information gets there? Like, can you kind of give me some insight on that?
Yeah, so typically when I upload, and this is something that I didn't do at the beginning, you upload the video, and for the ultra beginners, you do have to go and enable this aspect of your channel if you have a brand new one, so that you can do a custom thumbnail. A thumbnail is super important. So that's something that I'm usually thinking about and working on right away, is that thumbnail. And then what happens is, yes, when you're uploading, you have the ability right there to insert your description, and that description needs to have your title in it. In fact, take your title and make it the very first line of your description. That's the metadata, those are the tags. And then you write out a 1 to 2 paragraph description about your video. And the number one thing I can say to anybody out there, this is YouTube coming out and saying this, number one thing you do is type for humans, not for robots. So what happened is it started getting into this like keyword stuffing thing, where I'm going to do like moving to Portland, living in Portland, Beaverton, Oregon, Southeast Portland, all in this title, and capture all these keywords, and nobody would ever type that in. And so they're coming out and faulting you for that. So then your tags. So this is the cool thing about YouTube or TubeBuddy as well. When you bring up TubeBuddy, you can actually go in there and type your description, your tags, and all that out, and it's going to help you with your relevancy score too. So it's a great tool for that. It also gives you a bunch of related tags that you can use. So that's my process, is upload, description, tags, thumbnail, and then I'm doing end screens. I want people binge watching ours, so I'm putting videos at the end of our videos. There's a lot to it, but yeah, that's really it. Upload, you got to get that description and tags. The cool thing is, if you have video from 10 years ago, you can go in there and change the thumbnail, the title, the description, the tags, and give it a boost. So that's something I do. My homework every day is I go in and I read my data, my analytics, and if a video is not performing, I'm changing some things up, as long as it makes sense to that video.
Right.
If that makes sense to you. Yeah.
Did you say type for humans, not for computers? Was that the saying? That's brilliant.
That was YouTube's actual saying, was, type your titles, your descriptions, tags, like type all that for humans, not for robots. Because I guess that was, years and years ago, that was the thing. Just stuff it with a bunch of keywords, you own it all. But now it's so smart. And at the end of the day, and this is getting far into it, but like we have over 3.25 million impressions, meaning this freaking website or this algorithm, this platform, this search engine for 100% free has put our videos in front of over 3 million people, most likely to watch our content. So anybody who finds our videos via search, we average anywhere from 4 minutes and 30 to 4 minutes 45 seconds of view time. Anybody that YouTube finds and puts our videos in front of, it averages anywhere from about 6 minutes 45 seconds to about 7 minutes, almost double if you let that algorithm work. So when you do your titles right, your thumbnails, and you really make these videos good, YouTube will do the work for you over 3 million times in basically a calendar year for us. So it's really important that you do that stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't think that the keywords and the SEO tools and all that stuff is that important. But we know just from our channels, we've built plenty of channels now and done this multiple times over, that we know that all of those things combined create a very masterful piece of art. And it's like, I always reference it, it's like having a beautiful race car without a engine. It looks good, but if it's not going anywhere, guess what? You're going to be moving at the speed of a push.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no kidding. So let me ask you this, like if I'm an agent out there listening to this podcast going, oh, okay, cool, I can do this. And I want to talk about YouTube agents, specifically where you guys dive into more information, but forgetting about that for a second, I'm an agent, I'm out there, I'm listening, like, say whether I'm new or not, let's just say I go, okay, I see the vision for why I would want to use YouTube and create this content. Like, what can I expect? Like, obviously you guys had your trials and tribulations and your ups and downs. What are you telling your people that you're mentoring as far as like what they can expect to, as far as the phone ringing and actually turning this into business one day? Because I think that's the hardest part for a lot of people to understand, is how you take something, whether it's YouTube, social media, internet leads, doesn't matter, canceled, expireds. How do you actually turn that in from this thing to closings?
He can answer how we turn it into closings, because I'm a guy who does not track anything, and I just think these people will keep calling. So I'll just defer to him.
Yeah. So, I mean, like the one thing that I would highlight, we've had people that just follow our YouTube channel, have done everything that we've told them to do, paid $0 to us, and they've been able to get a closed deal, a hot lead within 2 weeks, and has gotten their first closing within, like, say 60 to 90 days. We just had we've had other people that have just done one video a week consistently for 8 months in a row and have closed over $4 million in real estate. Dang. And then we have plenty of people like with that same example. Now Jackson and I have started many other channels. We're getting ready to launch, I think it's our 4th or 5th channel this week in Northern Idaho. And we'll see how fast we can get leads, close deals off of this one. But I'm pretty optimistic to think that we'll get hot leads. We'll get calls within the first week, and we'll definitely get at least a closed transaction within the first 30 to 60 days.
That's pretty solid, man. I love that. So tell me about YouTube Agents. So YouTube Agents is another channel you guys run where, what it sounds like, right? It's for us as agents. Like, what can I expect when I show up there?
Basically everything. And that was it. Like I've almost just documented my process. So every single obstacle and hurdle that I've had to overcome is in that channel. So I literally, from like going to Google and creating a channel, or if you want to create a new channel off your email address, you already have a brand account, to naming that channel, to here's the number one thing that all agents do is their channel art. Everything about it is all about them, their name. They're the top realtor. Hey, my name is Jackson Wilke. I'm a top realtor here in Portland. Here's my listing. Here's my open house. So you got to get out of that. YouTube is like anti that. It's a value proposition. If you're going to buy an Android or an iPhone, you go there to YouTube to compare it. If you're going to move somewhere, and that's why I say that these get 10, 15,000 more searches a month, like the cities, you're going to see this stuff. And if you come on and just say, hey, I'm a real estate agent, call me, boom, you're done. And then your channel art is all about that. So what we teach in there, honest to God, is starting. You got to find your titles. So I do a ton of videos on that. How to make your thumbnails. Thumbnails and titles are, up to 90% of why your video gets clicked. Wow. So, hey, we help you with that title. We help you do thumbnails. And then how to structure those videos. You do not come out and talk about your name. So I've done videos on like there is a script that you need to have, and you have to hook people. So you come out and you hook them, number one thing. So it also, I've done tons of videos on how to edit and how to edit for realtors, like how to edit for dummies, basically. So how to shoot videos with your phone, with GoPros. Literally, there's nothing that we haven't put out there. It's 100% free. And so when Jesse says, yes, we have people who literally take our videos, they're doers, they're go-getters, and they get a ton of business. Well, you can watch those interviews on there. So it's not coming from my mouth. They're the ones saying, dude, I literally in 66 days closed my first YouTube lead off, like a couple videos. This kid just sent us a picture. He got a $10,724 check on his first YouTube deal in 70 days. And literally it works. It's just, you got it. I'm going to tell you right now though, that's why there's no realtors doing this. It's a ton of work. So that's, there's everything in there.
Turns out that's the way it is with everything in our business. It's all,
isn't it?
It looks good and it looks glitzy and glamorous from the outside, and in a lot of cases easy. And the reality is it's a lot of hard work. Sometimes it's easy, or I should say simple, but it's hard work. And it doesn't matter if you're the guy that picks up the phone and kind of grinds on canceled expired. It's freaking hard, man. Like that's not something I ever want to do. I've done it. Or you're working your sphere of influence and referrals. It just doesn't matter. Like it takes work. You got to put it in. And that's what I'm hearing from you is, yeah, YouTube is great. It's like, dude, it's the ocean. You get to like, it is a big, big opportunity.
Jesse always says that.
And that's true, but you gotta work for it.
And the thing that I really loved about it, so I've worked for many other industries and called on Fortune 500 companies before I got into real estate and things like that. And I knew how powerful YouTube was, but I realized how slow real estate was and how behind they were in technology. So I was just like, all right, this is awesome. And I always believed in like having things that work for you when you're not working. So YouTube was one of those things that I knew we could get people to find us without us doing manual labor. And the videos would work for us forever. And Jackson's biggest thing was like, I just want people to call me. I don't ever want to call anyone. So I'm like, all right, if we can figure this out, somehow it's going to work and it's going to be magical. So now 100% of our business besides our sphere deals are done all YouTube. And in the last year, we've done over $20 million in YouTube business. But we also bring agents in through.
That's not including the referrals we're giving out too in different states.
So Kenny Trung, Fast Agent out of Oakland, is like our #1 listing referral partner because a lot of our business does come from the Bay. We've given him in the last 6 months over $4 million in listing referrals, it's $6 million. $6 million. And we've probably given out close to $15 million in listing referrals throughout the whole U.S.
Dang.
Because think about it, dude. These people now they know us, like us, trust us, and half the conversations that come are like, "Oh my gosh, I can't even believe I'm talking to you guys. You guys are like movie stars. Hey, we're moving there. Yada yada." They go through their life story. My budget's 800 to 1.2 million. We got kids. We got that. I'm like, great. Hey, what's your name? I'd love to know. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We know you, but you don't know us." So like completely just changed the industry. So that worked right into us naturally going, well, cool. Do you got to close on your house there to buy here? Yeah, actually, we're going to have an agent come. Perfect. Make sure you interview them. But we do have the top agent in your area. And why that's important is communication. We've actually had people use an agent, not be able to communicate with us. They come here and they have to hotel it for a week. So if we have the communication on point, we can work with the escrow company, our lender. You will literally close the same day. All you got to do is focus on getting here. And they go, please send your person. And so it's 6% every time, no questions asked, and it really works well. So yeah, you can't find any other platform in the world that you gain that much trust just because you put your face on the video.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, I've been a big fan of video, not just YouTube, but just video overall. Facebook, Messenger, like literally text videos. The power of video for what you just pointed out, which is them feeling like they know you even when they don't. Right? They've never spoken to you. Is so powerful. Funny story I'll share with you. I remember back in, this would have been 2000. It was either towards the end of 2009 or beginning of, could have been 2010. We started our first video vlog for real estate agents in November of 2009. And it was all about short sales and just teaching other agents totally free, just how to do short sales. Cause most people didn't know how to do them. Like success rate was low.
Right.
And I remember like 2 or 3 times in the first month, I got phone calls from like prospective sellers. And they're like, yeah, I saw your videos on YouTube. And at first I was like, oh shit. Like that was the first thing I thought was like, no, they shouldn't see those. Those are for real estate agents. But then I was like, oh gosh, they're there, like our consumers are on YouTube as well. And then boom, we switched from doing 5 video blogs a week to 10, 5 for homeowners, five for agents. Right. And it's just so powerful when you realize what you can do with a tool like video, YouTube, and so many of the other tools that we have available to us.
Yep, exactly. And the nice thing, like in the add-on, like what we were saying about the listing referrals, and now, we're at EXP with you, and it's been magical since we've gotten here, and we've been able to recruit agents in, and we say, hey, look, we'll partner with you. We'll help you build a YouTube channel. And if we build it and it's all on our dime, any lead that comes in off of that, we split it with the agents 50-50. We let them keep 100% of all the business they produce on their own.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's been really, really beneficial for us, because we actually, since all this has happened, we've created our own video social agency, full blown. So if someone's like, basically like, I don't want to do anything besides shoot the content, we'll give you all your tags, titles, descriptions, do all your editing and posting. All we need from you is the content that we give you the titles on. And that's the end of the day.
That's okay. That's really smart. So like, part of my business model is Fred and I have an expansion team that we've run for, 5.5 years now, where we have agents in different cities, not utilizing different tools for lead gen, not YouTube necessarily. But I love that I could see how you can use that as literally as your secret weapon, as your way to expand your real estate team, if you will, your expansion team into other cities, and grow your business outside of just what you can do in one market. That's brilliant. And I love that. I love that model.
Oh yeah. And the nice thing is we're adding a ton of value, and we're giving our partners tons of value to add to their agents. If they, and say they want to do like pay for it all on their own, because we let them use our agency at cost. And if they want to do it all on their own, then they get to keep 100% of everything they do. We just provide them all the tools and resources at our cost, which is a very, very good deal. Then we're essentially letting them fuel their own fire, where they can start recruiting agents. And it's such a great model, because I've always been a huge believer in coming from contribution, adding value, because I started out on a team and I was doing all the work and I wasn't getting any business from the team, but I was bringing in all the business, and I didn't feel like the weight was balanced. Now we bring in 100% of the business, like for our buyer's agent, and our splits are, 30-70. And I always said 30 to her, 70 to us. And I just said, as long as you make over 100 grand, will you be happy no matter what the split is? She's like, oh, 100%. So now she's just inundated with so much business. And we set everyone up. We have the processes all dialed in. Now we've been doing it for a while, but we got, I think we have 6 or 7 local agents now that are all independent, that just kind of like basically timeshare channel space. And we do all their production, but across the US we have agents, and it's been really nice. And really helps them build long-term equity in their branding. And
Well, I think, and to your point that you made a little while ago, that's one of the beautiful things about a tool like YouTube is you can be sleeping and it's still working. I was talking to a good buddy of mine, Joshua Smith.
Oh yeah.
And him and I were just talking offline. I don't know. I think it was last time I interviewed him for my podcast. Beforehand we were talking, and one of the things he loves about YouTube, and every time we talk, he talks about YouTube. He's like, dude, the thing is like, it could have a video that's 5 years old that's still producing. It still produces leads for him and his business, right? Whether it's his boot camp, or, to recruit to his team, or for his software, et cetera. And so that's the thing I love about it, is it just lives on, right? YouTube is one of those things that it can live on and evolve. You create the piece of content once, and, like Jackson's point was, sure, maybe you refresh it, right? Maybe you refresh the title and some of the metadata, but the reality is like, you can create that content once and it can live and create business for you for years to come.
Oh yeah. And, we always think of new ways of like how we can purposefully push our business forward and expand. So we are only believers in search engine optimization tools now. And we have the Instagram and Facebook stuff for fun, but we've repurposed all of our blog or our videos into blogs and podcasts. And that is
Pinterest.
In Pinterest. Well, we've repurposed our blogs, into Pinterest account. And our Pinterest account drives about 50,000 views a month now. And our Pinterest creator, she texted us the other day. She goes, guess what? Like, we have 50 people clicking on your pins, hitting our website. And we've noticed since we started doing that our reach outs off of our website through organic search is really, really cranked up. And because Pinterest is the SEO tool for social media.
Yeah.
People manually search, and that's so cheap. we paid $300 to have it created, and we get 300 managed pins a month, which is like 800 pins. I don't even know anything about it, but I just see the results and I'm like, all right, this is the best money ever spent.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, and this is what I always talk about, if you're going to be a blogger, you write a blog. You know, if you're going to do a podcast, you do a podcast. But in our world, hey, we shoot the video's king. And from there, all I do is record a new intro for it and upload that as an MP3. It goes straight to a podcast. We then turn that, and we have a blog writer. She just turns it into more of a written form, but she embeds the YouTube video in it. And then we're taking that blog and we're repurposing it on Pinterest. So we are living in 100% SEO world, and our podcast is you type in Portland, the podcast is creeping up towards the top. We obviously, there's not a search that we don't own the top 15 or 20 videos out of 30 in YouTube, but now we're getting 50,000, unique visitors to our Pinterest board. And yeah, we got the thing yesterday from our web designer, or basically manager, that we're getting 50, it was 50 organic clicks to the website yesterday. It was our record day. So it doesn't sound like a ton, but that's 50 freaking people buying. And so our buyer's agent right now, literally in the past like 4 months, has closed 9 deals, has 6 in escrow, has 12 buyers who are pre-approved. If they just find the house, they close, and 41 buyers pre-approved. It's crazy. They're coming in from the podcast. They're coming in from the Pinterest, from the website, from YouTube. And it all is because we did that one video.
I'm glad you said that, because that's something I'm a big believer in, and I've taught agents for a while too, is if you're going to take the time to create the first piece of content, just you repurpose it, right? One of my mentors and friends, Dean Jackson, calls it the Moo method, which is multiplied oral output. For him, he's going to record a podcast. It's going to then become an email and a blog post and you name it. And, I also learned from John Cheplak as well around repurposing the same video. Like if you're going to make the video, cool, post it everywhere, write the blog, make sure you get all of the use out of it. Cause that's the beautiful thing about technology and what the times we're living in, is you can make a video that then becomes everything else. So
exactly. And that's
awesome.
exactly what our agency can do. And it's nice. So like we use our agency now for everything. So when you upload a video, you can put in your, what you want your thumbnail to look like. You can put in a sample, you can put in your own B-roll, whatever. But the nice thing is it says in there, do you want to repurpose this? And you can click if you want it to go to a blog, podcast, social media. And so then our editors on the back end know exactly what to do with all your stuff. And and our SEO research is for everyone's city individually. It's very purposeful of what we do. And it's the highest, it's the Wagyu of the YouTube industry, but it's a lot of trial and tribulation and a lot of research that we've done to make this happen. And I couldn't be more proud of the systems that we put together.
That's awesome. So if someone wanted to check that out, like your agency or whatever, do they just go to YouTube Agents, or is there a URL that you go to?
Yeah, it's the YouTubeagents.com.
The YouTubeagents.com.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'll make sure we link to that here in the show notes.
Yeah. And the one thing I would love to also say is like, with the, the referrals are fantastic, but what really, really helped us through this whole piece, and we haven't mentioned this yet, was like having a lender partner that really believes in your vision. Because when we first started this, he was the one that he was doing video. We didn't know him. We were doing video. It all kind of came together magically. And 99% of our clients now, our first piece of the first time they contact us via text, email, or phone call, we say, hey, we're really busy right now. We'd love to get on a Zoom call. We do our first Zoom call with our agent or buyer's agent, or, say it's a partner agent, and our lenders on every single Zoom call. So our lender, whether they're pre-approved or not, he's right there answering 90% of their questions are about lending. He automatically gets the client. So he's closed 99% of our deals and controls the process. We never tell them or ask them if they're pre-approved with another lender. We just act like he's working with them from the very beginning. Even if they do work with another lender, they always switch to him because they're unavailable on the weekend when we go to write the deal.
Yeah, that is so valuable. Whether I can imagine that on Zoom too, so much easier to do. We used to always have one of the large lenders would just sit in our office, so that way we could do appointments together. Because it's so powerful when you can have the lender, the client, and the agent in the same room at the same time, especially for that initial consultation. It's so powerful.
Well, an Uber pain point was the beginning of this. Me, not an organized guy, not a real estate agent. Like, yes, I've been in it for just over a year. I worked myself out after 6 months. So you look at me, I got 2 deals under me. I know my strengths are YouTube, because these calls come in, I'm fielding them. I'm trying to figure out where they need to be, schedule a tour date. Oh, and then I got to get their information over to the lender. It just gets dropped. So Jesse's like, just give me all your notes, everything. He did that. He put 14 deals in escrow the next month. So you can tell our strengths. But that is so pivotal to everybody listening, dude. If you can get that relationship, first and foremost, they join you on that call. You get everything hammered out in the first call. They love it. Second of all, now he invests tens of thousands of dollars into this business. The recording studio behind me, podcast studios, green screen rooms, this office, our editor, in-house videographer, that's all coming from him because the amount of business. He has, 40 plus active buyers. He's closed lots and lots of deals. That's how you can eliminate. If you don't know how to edit, shoot videos, do the titles, tags, descriptions, like you can get into an agency, they can supplement the cost, instead of paying for Zillow leads or any of that other stuff.
Yeah. And again, I'll reiterate, and I have nothing against Zillow. Like I think it's fine, but to reiterate the point we've now made a couple times is if you invest the money into that, something that say lives on YouTube, it lives forever and it's yours. Like you're not paying for something one time and then it comes to you one time. Like you can pay for it one time and it might pay you back 10 or 20 times over the next 5 years, which is to me so valuable.
That's what we love is like, once you start, you do lead generation and the day you stop paying or doing it, you're done and it's cut off. And so for us, it's just growing. And, this is basically a calendar year or more. And now over 3 million people have seen, our content. It's crazy, crazy, crazy.
That's awesome, man.
For free.
All right. So let me ask you guys this before we wind up. Is there anything left that I should have asked you about that I didn't, that we got to make sure we talk about before we wrap up today?
No, honestly, just to reiterate, we do have the YouTube agents. So for the go-getters out there, we've done a full-blown course from starting a channel on Google to the final upload process and everything in between, editing, all that stuff. But hey, if you're a go-getter, if you're listening out there, go to the YouTube agents. Just type that into YouTube. You'll find us. It's number one. And go to that channel. Everything is on there. So we've had some incredible success stories of people just watching that content and having a lot of success. So we love hearing that too.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that I would say is, if someone is already doing YouTube in your city, don't worry about it. Just get in there and start doing it, because it's funny, out of every platform in the world, this is the only one that I've ever heard where they're like, oh, there's somebody already doing YouTube in my market. It's like, there's already 12,000 other agents that's doing real estate too. One person doesn't own the platform. So don't worry. We could go into any market and rank instantly, and we're always partnering with agents all around the country. I still have, 600 more cities to fill. So I love working with people that actually want to shoot videos, and, we know we can make it happen.
That's a great point, Jesse. And that's where his front is. So we have, partners we're starting to get in the Colorado market, the Vegas market. So they reach out. This is another thing. Agents are reaching out. There's no more recruiting. You talk about expansion models and stuff. Dude, people are just wanting to be a part of you with YouTube. They love it. So once you start doing that, gaining success, you'll have local agents reaching out to you. So we're actually partnering with agents in every city, and then we help build their channels, and it's a kind of reciprocity style relationship. So we can really eliminate that too. So we reach out to us. We love talking about it. And then we have all the resources too on the YouTube agent channel for you to learn it.
Awesome, man. Well, Jesse, Jackson, thanks a lot. Wow. I didn't say you guys' name in that order before, Jesse and Jackson and Jesse, which is very different than Jesse Jackson. Thanks a lot for joining us today. Guys, check them out. Go to theyoutubeagents.com or just go to YouTube and type in YouTube agents. Check out what these guys are doing. I think you have figured out by now they're bringing a ton of value, have a lot of insight to offer. And if you want to learn more from them, then reach out to them and connect with them. And I'm sure they'll be more than happy to chat with you. So thanks a lot again today for joining us, fellas. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anytime.